Welcome to Developing Countries channel. In this video we will discuss why poor countries stay poor. Why poor country remains poor despite 60 or 70 years after independences. In this video I will explain why developed countries stay poor, especially in Africa. This video is based in facts and personal experience, as I am a citizen from poor countries. Before I start, please like and subscribe for this channel. This is not other video whose their motivation is unclear and rely in an unreliable source such as foreign expert whose agenda is driven by its employer. As a citizen of this poor countries, I have no other motivation than to show you and to the world the cause of poverty of this countries. First, these poor countries are not the same and each have specific condition particular to that country, such as wealth in natural resources, population, geography, geopolitics and society. But in this video I will show the common factors that drive them to poverty and make them poor for tens of years. First factor or variable is the leadership or the political elite who rule the country. Such leadership is the most important factor in country poverty or wealth. Let's have an example of good and bad leadership. Good example of leadership is Lee Kuan Yew and bad example is Mohamed Ould Ghazouani, current president of Mauritania and the African Union. Let's examine the first 5 years of each president to compare their work. First 5 years of Lee Kuan Yew upon Singapore's independence was to address high unemployment. Together with his economic aid, Economic Development Board Chairman Hun Sway Sen, and in consultation with Dutch economist Albert Winsemius, Lee set up factories and initially focused on the manufacturing industry. Before the British completely withdrew from Singapore in 1971, Lee also persuaded the British not to destroy their dock and had the British naval dockyard later converted for civilian use. Eventually, Lee and his cabinet decided the best way to boost Singapore's economy was to attract foreign investments from multinational corporations, MNCs. By establishing first world infrastructure and standards in Singapore, the new nation could attract American, Japanese and European entrepreneurs and professionals to set up base there. By the 1970s, the arrival of MNCs like Texas Instruments, Hewlett-Packard and General Electric laid the foundations, turning Singapore into a major electronics exporter the following decade. Workers were frequently retrained to familiarize themselves with the work systems and cultures of foreign companies. The government also started several new industries, such as steel mills under National Iron and Steel Mills, service industries like Neptune Orient Lines, and the Singapore Airlines. Now let's have what Mohamed Ould Ghazouani done in his first 5 years. First is giving the key national asset that the country has borrowed money hard to build to foreign company for exploitation for over 25 years. This foreign company are not selected based on their merit but on corruption deals orchestrated by key corrupt element in the Ghazouani regime. This company's sole objective is profit and brought their own workers from their countries, so Mauritania lose experience in logistical business and lose profit from its own strategic assets of maritime ports and airports. This is the gate to the country, and that without concern of national security issue regarding foreign countries managing the gates of the country. President Mohamed Ould Ghazouani give important natural resources like uranium, gold, cobalt, quartz mines to foreign multinational companies already known for corruption and plundering developed countries like Kinross and other evil corporation. Ghazouani also increased the global foreign debt of the country while losing many big natural resources like the Akjout copper mines, who diminished in just 15 years, making Mauritania even poorer with more unemployment, no infrastructure, an increased population and no resources, just an uneducated populated desert country. For the first time in Mauritania, mass migration of the educated youth toward United States and Europe in search for better life. More than 100,000 young men had left Mauritania in past 5 years in search of better opportunities in USA and Europe. In the past 5 years Mauritania had become poorer and its way to become even poorer with retard in infrastructure, education, health and industries, as it need around 25 years to have proper base for economic development. Mauritania lost around $20 billion in economic value of resources and manpower in the benefit of richer countries like Canada, Australia, China, Turkey and France. This last sentences will redirect us to the next factor or variable. In this comparison you can see the impact of leadership in governing country faith to become richer or poorer. The leadership is the machine who make poorer or richer, and that the responsibility of making poor countries poorer is their leader. Second factor or variable, global politics, global polar struggle. No doubt that some countries are poorer because of foreign imperialist exploitation, and this is especially true in African countries. Most European countries' economic development and success is driven by money plundered from their colonies, and this economic colonization still exists today in relations such as France-Afrique or financial laundering of illegal money in countries like England. The exploitation of big corporations like Arriva, Shell, ExxonMobil of the natural resources of poor countries like Niger is the cause of poverty of these countries. The systematic impoverishing of these countries by plundering its natural resources through political destabilization and control through puppet regime who follow the colonial power and guard its interest, and an example of such regime is the government of Ouattara in Ivory Coast or Paul Biya in Cameroon. An example of this imperialist exploitation is Mauritania, where company called Kinross Gold Corporation plundered the richest gold region in Mauritania from 2005 until now, caused an estimation theft of 20 billion from the economy of Mauritania in 20 years. In 2005 Kinross was a small company, now because of the wealth plundering is one of the biggest gold company in the world. Now what a $20 billion can do for Mauritania, whose budget in 2022 is a little $1 billion. A lot. This amount can boost the economy to become emerging power through industries and services, opening factories and a world-class infrastructure. This corporation doesn't give anything to the country except plundering its resources, no technology transfers and no skills transfer, leaving the country poorer than before they come. It's cruel, but it is reality of many poor countries like Mauritania. Now why this evil corporation is allowed to plunder the countries, or why does the people accept to be plundered or accept bad leaders such as Mohamed Ould Cheikh Ghazouani, president of the African Union, who spent most his times flying to conferences instead of building one, the poorest country on earth? This will lead us to the third factor, or variable society. People in Mauritania are very poor, and the regime who ruled Mauritania used divide and conquer strategy by dividing society to tribes and giving the tribe who follow them advantages and attacking the tribe who oppose them. They divided the society, a combination of need, tribal tension, ignorance of what is their right and what others are doing to them and to their country, making the society easy to be taken advantage of, divided and dormant. Society in Africa are divided, and clanism, favoritism is very strong in Africa, and this is because of bad mentalities such as backwardness, and sometime colonial and regime divide and conquer policy. Every African have ethnic civil war like Nigeria, Sierra Leone and Congo. The combination of these factors or variables are the major cause of why the poor countries stay poor, especially in Africa, whose countries are poorer than they were in time of their independences. Please like and subscribe for this channel to support us make more video like this. Please share with us your thought in the comments section. We are happy with your comments.